Restrictions apply.
Play virtual golf on the best courses in the world and compete against your friends with Top Tracer. Mention KIRO in the golf shop and get 25% off 30-hour Top Tracer value cards valid through August. Enjoy Top Tracer at Jackson Park, Jefferson Park, and Inner Bay and Sea.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
This hour is brought to you by the Harnish Auto family.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
Brought to you by Simply Seattle.
We're going to accuse you of manager.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
Here it is the Brock and Salt Show, Seattle Sports 710, seattlesports.com, and the Seattle Sports app as well, plus all the podcast platforms. If I sound just a little different to you this morning, it's because I'm on a headset, not my normal microphone, and it's because we are out at Seahawks training camp today. Virginia Mason Athletic Center, Maura's here, even Justin is here. What a morning. It's kind of drizzly, but we are wonderfully protected by this beautiful tent that Maura and NASA set up this morning. And so
which you were very concerned about. You were already trying to make alternate plans last night.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was going to be cold. It's beautiful out here. It's like kind of a little humid. It's, I don't know, retaining the heat. It's kind of nice. I brought a jacket. I don't even need it. Seahawks can have a little morning practice. Today is the first practice in pads. How about that? That's kind of exciting. And we'll be here to witness the whole thing as Bump and Stacy take the air right after us. So pretty cool. George Fant will join us as well at 7:30, and my buddy Albert Breer, Monday morning quarterback, is in town for practice. Funny, I texted him yesterday and was like, hey, when are you coming into Seattle for practice this year? He's like, tomorrow. I was like, well, thanks for the text, bud.
Perfect timing.
way to hit me up. So anyway, he's going to come hang out with us for a little bit over at the tent. So I'm not sure yet. 8:30 or 9:30, we're still kind of working through the times on that. So if you're setting up your morning right now at 6 a.m., I don't know what to tell you on Bert. It's either going to be 8:30 or 9:30. We're going to communicate throughout the morning. Now, enough of that.
What'd you think?
Let's talk about these Mariners.
What did you think
Let's talk
about the Victor Revelation Robles?
Let's talk about the suddenly fun Mariners. Now, if you want to be a spoil sport, if it's in your nature to be negative, if you need to have some sort of a disclaimer, they did just play arguably the worst team in history. They did.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you they didn't. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to tell you the White Sox are good. They're not. Yes, the White Sox aided them by kicking the ball around the infield a couple of times. Paul DeJong trying to play third base, which is not his natural position. Usually guys can go from short to third okay, but he seems to be having a little difficulty with the transition over there defensively. So I'm not here to tell you that because of this weekend the Mariners' offense is fixed or that they are now fine and everything is rosy and now you go on to win the World Series. None of that is true after a weekend against truly the worst team in baseball and probably one of the worst of all time. That being said, the Mariners do feel like they went from being boring to being fun overnight. Mm-hmm. And I don't know that I've ever conceived of a team that's done that. It's one thing to get good overnight. Sometimes baseball just turns and you go from being bad to being good. Sometimes you go from good to being bad. And you're like, what the heck happened around here? They went from being boring and droll and in some ways just sort of just deja vu over and over and over and over again without a tremendous amount of personality. They're just very vanilla. And all of a sudden they went from vanilla to, Rocky Road and strawberry and banana nut crunch and Cherry Garcia and, all of it mixed together. And
you didn't go for the most daring flavors.
Or what's the most daring flavor? What's the most daring flavor you could think of off the top of your head?
Is there one?
Tough guy.
Is there a daring ice cream
Tough
flavor?
guy.
You want to be all tough about my
I don't know,
ice?
people send me dill pickle ice cream stuff all the time on Instagram. So is that
But that's
daring?
that's dumb. That would be like, that's just not a good flavor for ice cream.
Sorry, then everything with the kitchen sink one. It just had everything. They finally
Rainbow sherbet? Like, I don't know. Whatever, man.
Daring.
Huh?
don't think there's such thing as daring ice cream.
All right.
I think we put ourselves in a losing
Like
position.
a lavender.
No,
honey.
Maura put herself in a losing position. I was just talking about flavors more interesting than vanilla, and Maura has to be all insulting.
Like
here
strawberry.
to start the morning. You know what? Strawberry's underrated.
I agree with you.
People kind of sleep on strawberry because they think, oh, vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, kind of boring. Strawberry, first of all, completely supersedes chocolate and actually, like, doesn't get ordered that much. So when you have it, you're like, oh, this is really good. I like strawberry ice cream. Anyway, enough of that.
It was fun.
Randy Arozarena's fun.
Yep.
I don't know what you can say about this guy. I don't know if he's going to end up being the truth. I don't know if he's going to end up being the thing they needed, but I do know that he's fun. I don't know what the most fun thing about him is. Is it the yellow shoes? Because those were awesome. Is it the yellow sunglasses that he was wearing yesterday? Because those were even more awesome. Is it the chains and the earrings? My daughters loved it. Was it the multicolored glove that he has going on, which Cecily was obsessed with? Is it the fact that he swings out of his shoes and still makes a lot of contact? That's super fun. Or is it just everything about his general movement and demeanor? He just screams fun. Oh, not to mention the whole arms cross thing. Dude, he's awesome.
Yeah, he brings a lot of swag.
He really, really brings a lot of swag.
This is your newest crush.
Yes, yeah. Even more than Santos, because unfortunately after that first day, Santos had a little trouble finding the plate, so we'll come back to him maybe another day. As I said, that was sort of a flirtation. This is something. This could develop into something very deep. This could be a deep, meaningful connection, Maura. Not some cheap first or second date. This is the kind of thing
After
that could
one
grow
weekend,
into
you're
something.
like, I don't know. I think it's the real one.
This
He's
could
the
be
one.
this could be marriage material.
Santos had to come here for you to know. Like when his first outing, we were all like, oh, we didn't know you were like that.
Right.
We all knew Randy Arozarena was fun.
Yes, absolutely. We'd seen his profile pic.
So
I mean, like, we'd read his profile. We'd seen the pic. Our friends maybe had dated him a little bit. And we're like, yeah, this guy's going to be great if I ever get an opportunity to be with him. I think that this could really go somewhere. Well, then he shows up, and he's better than expected. It's too bad that ball didn't stay fair yesterday.
Yep.
Because he absolutely unloaded on that ball. He uncorked it. And it went foul by what, 5-6 feet? If that thing stays fair, this is like a storybook weekend. As it is, it's funny. Every time he hit the ball hard, he got nothing from it. And then he, reaches base 3 times on swinging bunts and little dinks and whatever. But his speed matters. His defense matters. He obviously has the pop, and he just unfortunately couldn't keep that one fair. He hit another rocket shot right to center field that unfortunately was caught by Luis Robert. And he just seemed to lift the entire team. I got to tell you, the story that was told over the weekend, I've never heard anything like it. I'm trying to come up with an example, and I don't know that I've ever heard anything like the story that we were told and got a chance to see on video over the weekend of what happened on Friday night. Never seen it. So in case you missed this, Randy gets traded from Tampa to Seattle on Thursday night late. Mm-hmm. And we were sort of hoping he'd be here Friday. In Chicago, he wasn't. He reported on Saturday, which is his right. Friday night, he's teamless. He doesn't play for the Rays anymore. He's not with the Mariners yet. And every Friday night in Tampa is Randyland promotion out in left field where he plays. Did you see this?
I saw the clip, and it
was unbelievable.
I didn't have any sound.
Every Friday night is Randyland. And they turn left field into, all the very celebrate, Julio and center with the no-fly zone. It's Randyland. So what does Randy do on Friday night with no game to play? He goes to the Trop, becoming the 7th person in the door, and hangs out with the fans in Randyland.
That makes sense as to why I'm assuming it was his wife sitting next to him
Yes.
with tears in her eyes, because I saw the clip, and I'm like, I have no sound at the bar.
It was him and his wife hanging out in Randyland
that's
together.
terrific.
Just saying goodbye to the fans and, being a part of it and taking
That's
in the
cool.
game from left field. Remember when Julio went to a game as a minor leaguer at spring training, and we were all like, oh, my God, this guy lives baseball. This is the coolest thing. This is that times like 100. Mm-hmm. He went to his own section and hung out with the fans to say goodbye. I mean, that is a truly, truly, telling moment. In my view, I loved it. I thought it was a great story. Clearly in sports radio and in media, et cetera, we will often capitalize on some of the negative things people do because they're interesting, because they're newsworthy, because they make for great conversation and debate. This is not one of those. Excuse me. This is exactly the opposite. This is as pure a love of baseball and his team and his fans as you are going to find. And I really believe that a combination of him and Julio together in center and left field has the possibility of really igniting both of them. And I think back on him and Adolis Garcia in the All-Star game, right? And you remember they both came out, they played each other in the first round of the home run derby, and they were both pimping for the camera back and forth and then had all the success. Arozarena won, by the way, beating Adolis Garcia, who's a better home run hitter than he is. Then you went on, and he eventually lost to Vlad in the finals after Vlad had beaten Julio. But whatever, that's a side note. If you remember the first inning of that game, right, Garcia makes a running catch in right field, and the next batter, he trumped him. Arozarena came up with an even better catch in left field. And so I do think there's a little bit of the anything you can do, I can do better element to him, of like a little friendly competition amongst his peers will set him up for even more success. Julio, I think, will be challenged in really good ways by having Arozarena next to him, not to mention someone who shares his love for the game and the smile that he plays with. That's not normal. Most guys in baseball are not smiling all the time. The game is a grind. It wears on you. You fail a lot. And you could see it written all over the faces of these Mariners all last week and the week before and probably the last month. The failure was wearing on them. And then you inject this amount of fun into the team with Arozarena, with Victor Robles. Justin, you started talking about him. Throw him in this list. He plays with a smile and just sort of a general weirdness that not everybody does. I love it.
Could be a fun outfield with those three.
Could be a really fun outfield with those three. You're absolutely right. And so I think that all of those things add up to taking a boring, moribund, kind of just sad, pathetic, playing out the string kind of vibe and turn it into something great and something fun and something entertaining for all of us to watch. Not to mention the juice that the entire team gets just by knowing that the front office went out and did something to help them. And Jimmy Garcia does help them. And Randy Arozarena does help them. He's probably going to be the biggest impact bat traded at this deadline. And, you know, when tomorrow comes and goes, maybe the Mariners make more moves, maybe not. I hope they do. I know they want to. But let's be clear, much like the Luis Castillo year, they went out and traded for the best guy who was available, at least as of right now. Maybe a better bat will move, but I doubt it. I'm going to guess Arozarena is the highest impact bat that gets traded at this deadline. The Mariners got him, and they need more. But, man, does that whole thing ever just inject life and confidence into a group that totally needed it. Anyway.
It's not vanilla ice cream.
It sure isn't, man. And if it is, you've added some swirl and you've added some good toppings and a little of the Oreo cookie that's crumbled and, you know, throw in a little Reese's peanut butter cup and some whipped cream and a cherry and the whole deal. We'll come back with everything you need to know next.
Seattle Sports, your home for Bump and Stacy.
Mariners make the biggest move of the trade deadline so far, acquiring Randy Arozarena from the Rays.
In this moment, he's probably the best bat on the roster right now, and that's exactly what you needed. So when Julio comes back, hopefully you got a nice little 1-2 combo. I don't think they're done, but this is a clear message to the fans and to the guys in the clubhouse. Look, we're not done. If you can read between the lines and look at the prospects and see what's out there, you say they might be positioning themselves for a bigger move.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Paid political announcement. A Bob for Bob update. Did you know AG Bob Ferguson failed at defending the $30 car tabs initiative passed by 53% of Washington voters? Beware of Bob dropping the ball when Washington wants less taxes via initiative. Do you want a governor who doesn't succeed when more than 50% of the state votes for lower cost of living? Well, then we have the candidate for you. Vote Bob, because $30 car tabs don't matter. Paid for by the Bob for Bob Committee, 1283 Puyallup, Washington, 98371. Top 4 donors, Steve Gordon, Fremont Dock Company, Brian Haywood, and Susie Burke.
Can't fix everything for everybody, but you can be there and listen and try to help with what you can. You're there to support them, and that's the best that you can do.
It's this commitment, this philosophy that represents the LJ way.
This is my life. This is my family's life. The people that work here, they're my family. When something's not right with them, it's not right with us. My wife and 3 kids in the house, there's always something wrong with somebody at all times. And if there isn't, then something's wrong. When you have 388 employees, there's never a day that everything is good everywhere. You have to be okay with that. You have to look at that as opportunities to gain a better relationship with people. and help them through what they're going through.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Let's face it, nothing makes you look older than you really are than thinning hair. But what if you could not only increase your hair count, but promote new hair growth without surgery, without drugs with potential side effects, and without a prescription from your doctor? Well, now you can, thanks to a breakthrough new supplement called Hair Grow, provided by New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Europe. Hair Grow is now available in the U.S. Only Hair Grow contains Tocogaya, a powerful antioxidant that has received a U.S. patent. Multiple clinical studies show Hair Grow is safe and effective in promoting new hair growth. In one study, 95% of the patients using Hair Grow saw increased hair count. Don't lose more time and more hair. Try Hair Grow today to feel and look your best. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS. Look younger and feel more confident with Hair Grow by New Nordic at NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Home ownership. At Progressive, we know it's part of the American dream. It's sea to shining sea and water damage as far as the eye can see. It's America. It's freshly mowed grass and a fence that was freshly vandalized by a pack of unruly teens. It's America. It's also around-the-clock protection when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, which can help keep the American dream of home ownership alive and kicking. Get a quote at Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states. We are Seattle Sports.
Infield hit. First hit, everybody, for Randy Arozarena as a Mariner. It's an infield base knock.
The home of the Mariners.
You gotta love baseball season, but when it comes to your windows, you don't want any curveballs. Rick Riz here, reminding you to trust your clubhouse with locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Experience the difference with high-quality products, expert installation, and top-notch customer service. It's always a home run with Pella. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Just go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Bring your whole crew to the game with the Mariners Suite at T-Mobile Park. Whether you're planning a special birthday party for friends and family or a company outing for up to 400 coworkers, there's no better spot for an unforgettable experience. Enjoy the suite life with premium catering, VIP parking, private Skybridge entry, and more. Plus, season ticket members get 15% off. Reserve your suite today at mariners.com/suites.
And the pitch up the middle, JP! Wow! What a play! Game over!
To celebrate Team USA going for gold, Xfinity is offering a gold medal deal now through August 11th. Get their best offer yet with 300 megabit Xfinity internet and one line of unlimited mobile for just $35 a month for a year and a free 5G phone. And the action doesn't stop there. Save on some of the biggest names in streaming by adding the new Xfinity Stream Saver with Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $15 a month. And don't wait, because when the Olympic Games end, so does this deal. So go to Xfinity.com/Team USA, call 1-800-XFINITY, or go visit a store today. Get the fastest connection to Paris, only with Xfinity, proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Equipment taxes and fees extra and subject to change. After promo, regular rates apply to internet and mobile. Stream Saver price subject to change. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity internet. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed. Free 5G phone requires eligible trade-in. Select models only, but make the call and don't wait to 1-800-XFINITY. This hour is brought to you by the Harnish Auto family.
Need to know. Brought to you by Ben's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Hey, has anybody seen the Mariners? No, I mean the actual Mariners, because the team I watched over the weekend in Chicago looked offensively competent. They scored 22 runs in 3 games. And as much as the White Sox stink, and the White Sox stink, don't get any illusions, their starting pitching doesn't stink. The 3 pitchers that they threw in this series are actually all very good and would start for most rotations in baseball, and instead they destroyed them. 8 home runs in the 3 games, 3 from Polanco, 2 from Cal Raleigh. It was like watching an entire new team. Here's Cal going nuts yesterday.
And the lefties 0-1 pitch to Cal, swinging a drive deep into the gap in left center field. Going and goodbye baseball. Cal Raleigh with another home run. His 22nd home run of the season. He jumps on an 0-1 pitch from Garrett Crochet out to the bleachers in left center with Arozarena aboard, and just like that, the Mariners have an early 2-0 lead.
I'll say getting it done early in the game seemed to really help them as well. Allowed the pitchers to pitch with a lead, allowed everybody to play looser. Clearly, the huge first inning on Friday night was a big part of that. But, yeah, there's a lot of credit. Polanco delivered. Cal's been a force. Robles remains just red hot at the top of the lineup. Arozarena completely changes the complexion of this lineup, especially once Julio returns. Scott Servais pretty impressed.
And when you see the guys taking the close pitches like that, they're kind of getting the comfort zone of, if I don't get my pitch, I just pass the baton. That's what good offenses do. You really rely on the guy behind you, to get it done if you don't get your pitch. And we saw a lot of that tonight. So,
yeah, they are playing with confidence, something that they were clearly not doing all of 4 games ago. It's amazing how quickly things can change in this sport. Now, off to Boston to finish off this road trip. Red Sox have been good, certainly a lot better than the white-colored Sox that the Mariners were just playing against, but a beatable team, and if you can go in there and take 2 out of 3, boy, does that ever change the way this season is going. Mariners back in first place, by the way, as the Astros finally lost yesterday.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Well, despite all the parity, despite all the teams that do believe they are in it still, the trades have already started before tomorrow's trade deadline. The Mariners have made 3 of them, including what I would say is the biggest move in the league thus far, and may end up being the biggest bat traded when it's all said and done. That, of course, is Randy Arozarena, who spent Friday night sitting in the Tropicana section named for him.